that first business, I got it to the 150K plus profit monthly mark so fast, like within a year.
Okay.
And it floated there for the 4 years. And it was great. Lifestyle was great. Lost it at the start, and like it just never grew further for a lot of reasons which I'm aware of. And then start of last year, I'm in big trouble. Just lost it all. Like I literally had to just go. Like see you later, and had to start something new again. And I did it again fast. To that, and like I think you mentioned the word earlier, the swamp. And I got there really quick, 7 months, and we
straight in the swamp.
Yeah, straight there, no messing. Month 7 did first 200K profit month, and it was great. And then I was like, okay, this is my second chance now. And then that was however many months ago, 12 months ago now. And I'm
still there,
stuck.
Okay.
And I want to know. Obviously, there'll probably be following questions, but I want to know why I can't get it past.
What do you sell? Well, I mean, but let's not put any like mysticism around it because there's probably a very obvious answer. So why can't you do more? So what do you sell again? And then how do you get them?
We're a TikTok shop agency.
Okay, got it. Okay, TikTok shop agency. So the customers. So we either have to sell more customers or make them worth more, right? Sales velocity has to go up or LTV has to go up. One of the
Sales velocity has to go up.
Okay, so you're not getting enough customers.
Correct.
Okay, so how are you getting customers right now?
Mainly organic, word of mouth, some ads.
Word of mouth being people who are existing working with you. Bring friends.
Or know my social media.
Oh, like that. Okay, so your social media is on what? TikTok?
TikTok and Instagram and LinkedIn. So.
Okay, so you have 3 different channels that you're posting on. And how many people are you selling a month?
This is the problem. It's an operation issue as soon as we start selling.
What?
It's an operation issue as soon as we start selling. So like,
you mean you can't handle the volume? Okay, but you're doing 200,000 in profit per month right now.
Between 100 and 200.
Okay, got it. So what role do you need? This is a frank issue. What role do you need to hire to not have it be an operational issue when you turn on sales?
That was going to be one of my questions.
Okay.
Only because I have, and like the similarity between business 1 and business 2 was like, great, I've got that, I've made it there with my activity and my actions, and then I'm like, cool, typical, we need to now hire and make sure it can be done without me, and that's typically where it halts, and I can see that, especially now. I've been away from the business for 6 weeks just to relax and whatever, putting out the best idea, but and like as soon as I've done that, it's just so
wait, you do stuff that makes money, and when you stop doing that stuff, you stop making money. That makes sense. Okay. So we just have to be clear about what stuff you do, and we have to break it into component parts. So one of the big issues that, especially like when you're coming up, the problem is that everyone here, we had to learn all these different things, right? We had to learn marketing, we had to learn sales, we learned product, we learned hiring, we had to learn all this different stuff, right? And then we want to hire one person who's lived our entire lives and then expect them to work for us for a fraction of what we pay ourselves and are barely even willing to keep doing what we're doing. Right?
One of those.
Yeah. So we have to break it into parts. And so I give the analogy of the unicorn, right? So like you're a unicorn in your business. You looking for unicorns is probably not a productive activity. But if you wanted to create something that was an approximation of a unicorn, it's like, okay, well, I need the horn, so I can go find a rhinoceros and I'll get the horn part. And then, but that body's not going to work. So I got to go get a horse. It's going to be a white horse. It's not going to have a horn. Well, fine, I can get the horse. But then what about the magic pixie dust, right? So then I got to go get my fireflies and I can add those on. And so I just bolt on the horn of the rhinoceros onto the horse and get some fireflies. Is it as good as you? No, but it'll be pretty good. And so if the business requires somebody who's as good as you to run, then the model doesn't work. If the business can work with somebody who's half as good as you, then you're always going to sacrifice some margin in order to scale. And so I'll say this differently. One of the terms I use is scale zero. And so the goal is like, how can I get, so let's say hypothetical math. If I do something, I make $20 million a year and it's 50% margins and I'm heavily involved in a whole bunch of shit, right? If I hire truly all the people that I need, maybe my margin goes from 10 million to 4. Let's just be an extreme here. But I do nothing now. But now that company can then go from 20 to 40 and I can make 8 on 40 and it requires 0 of me. And so again, it's this, a lot of times we have our ego tied to, because you said it, you're like, I got to this, and you're like, and then as soon as I'm there, there's this, like, and so it's because you have this tie for whatever reason that like, if it's not this number, you suck, or whatever that is for you. And so we need to be able to give up some of that profit in order to break the activities that you currently do into component parts. The activity of doing that is we do time studies. So you look at what you do in a current week, and then you start parsing out, okay, you could take the entire time study, plug it into GPT, and just say, hey, what roles, if I were to replace 100% of these activities, is the smallest amount of roles that could replace all of them? And give me the job description and names for those. And it's like, okay, well, then actually you do some HR shit, and you do some marketing stuff, and then you do some sales shit. Okay, great. So you need one of these, one of these, and one of these. And it's like, cool. How much is that going to eat in my margin? I'm going to cut half my margin away. Okay. Am I willing to do that so I can actually have something that works? And the first time you hire them, 2 out of the 3 will suck because you don't have pattern recognition. And then 1 of them will be okay. And then you'll hire again. And it'll take you 6 months to figure that out. And but that thing is that once you get there, though, you will finally be able to get to 500 or $1 million a month or whatever the next stopping point is. And then you'll be like, fuck, I don't know how to hire this next person. And then you'll fail for a while, and then you'll get it. You just can't stop. You can't stop trying.
Yeah, it makes sense. I think I definitely perfectly leads on to the next thing I wanted to say, which was like you mentioned earlier about like finding that other leader, right? Mm-hmm. And I've really not done great at that. And like I think I've tried that through multiple different side ventures, businesses, whatever. Like finding that other one. You
either looking for too much or you're paying too little.
Both, probably, but that's fine.
I want someone who's better than me and wants to make $60,000 a year. Unlikely.